Hi, Skeet Reese here. I've been working with the folks at Wright and McGill, and I've helped design a new line of technique-specific rods that I know will give me an edge in tournaments. What's even more amazing is you can get the exact same rods for under $100. I know, unbelievable. But don't let the price fool you. These Skeet Reese Signature Series rods are right up there with the best there is. They're super lightweight, super sensitive, and every bit as strong as heavier rods in the market. That's because they're based on Wright and McGill's unbelievable Tessera S-Curve technology. The unique S-Curve manufacturing process combines carbon yarn, PBO fibers, and glass fibers into T-glass or high-density graphite to produce rods that are not only much lighter and more sensitive, but also stronger. My new Skeet Reese rods come with other features you just don't find in most rods, like this contoured rubber handle for all-day comfort and more grip. And you're really going to appreciate it when things get wet. Each rod also comes with a perfect rubber fighting butt that really lets you torque those fish in. And with the split handle here, cuts down the weight of the rod, and these easy to read rod specs allow you to grab the right rod in a hurry. We also designed in 20% more guides than your typical rod to minimize line slap and increase casting accuracy. They're made out of zirconium too, which is cool because it cuts down the weight of the rod and improves your casting performance. Let me show you. In my rod series, you'll find all the rods for the hottest techniques in bass fishing today. Techniques that help put me in the winner's circle, and hopefully will put you in the winner's circle as well. All right, let's talk about the Dropshot Rod. Absolutely one of the key components in a bass boat these days. When designing this rod, there's a couple things I had to have in here. Number one is having a good soft tip. So when that worm gets down there and you shake that rod tip, you're gonna get a lot more action out of the worm. Second thing about Dropshot Rod you want to have good backbone down in here. So when you do get that bite, you're able to get a good hook set, be able to control that fish, get it out of the cover, and get it in the boat. Another thing about this rod is it's 7 feet 2 inches. What I love about that is I can make a little bit longer cast, but when I do get that bite way out there, that extra length allows me to get a good hook set as well and put more fish in the boat. The Dropshot Rod, you gotta love it. Day in, day out throughout the country, if you need to catch a bass, you go to a shaky head. Most of the time when I'm fishing this rod, I'm gonna be fishing 8 and 10 pound test. I'm gonna be fishing hooks 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, about as big as I'm gonna go. The rod's 6 feet 8, little bit shorter. Reason I want that is when I get up in tight conditions around the docks and the boats and stuff like that, I want to be able to skip it up in there. It's got a little more power. It's a medium heavy action. It's also got a soft tip to it though, so when you get that shaky head down there and you want to shake and get good action out of the worm, you got good feel, good action, but a lot more backbone in it to really get them bigger fish out underneath the heavier cover and just control them fish better as well. All right, there's times when you need to catch a big one. This is how you do it, flipping and pitching. My flipping and pitching stick is designed to be your meat and potatoes rod, without a doubt. 8 feet long, one piece. That one piece gives you so much more strength and durability. A lot of flipping sticks are way too stiff. So when you go to set the hook, you break the line too easily, even 25 pound test. So I designed this rod to be able to have a nice parabolic action to it, which means you get good bend from the tip all the way down to the butt section. So when you get that bite and you crack them at close range, that you still got some shock absorbency in there. 20, 25 pound test, flipping braid, ideal. 1/4 ounce all the way up to 2 ounce baits if needed. Flipping stick, man, I can't go anywhere without my flipping stick. All right, let's talk about the jerkbait topwater rod. This is a fun rod because when they're eating these kind of baits, you're having a great time on the water. One of the key things about this rod is the tip action is very soft. If you're using too stiff a rod and you're pulling, popping like that, you can pull the hooks out of a fish real easily. So this rod's got a nice soft tip to allow you to get good hookup land ratios. So when you finally pin one, you got the ability to pull on some fish and get some big ones in the boat. Most of the time when you're working a jerkbait in the topwater, your rod tip is pointing down like this. And if your rod's too long, you're gonna start slapping the surface. So 6 feet 8, I think is a perfect length. Get that rod tip down there. You're gonna get great action out of that bait. All right, let's talk about the spinnerbait worm rod. Man, there's times here you just gotta throw that spinnerbait. For me, target casting is very, very important. When I need to put a spinnerbait right up there in a little spot the size of a Dixie cup to catch that fish, this is my go-to rod. If I want to fish a Texas worm, Texas rig, like say 6-7 inches, ideal for that. It's got a very soft tip that allows me to get baits up there, but you got a lot of power down there in that butt section again to get good hook sets on these fish. Let's talk about structure fishing. Throughout the country, depending on what type of lake you're on, a lot of these fish are going to be on outside little break, drop-offs, humps, rock piles, things like that. And when you're fishing out there, a lot of times you're going to be fishing jigs and worms. Well, this rod, the Jig and Worm Rod, is designed specifically for that. Football jigs, the latest craze the last few years. 3/8 ounce up to 1 ounce football jigs, perfect for this. 10-inch power worms, ideal. It's got a very soft tip, so you get good feel of the bait, but it's a really fast taper, so it shuts down quick, gives you a lot of backbone. Because when you make that long cast out there on that drop-off, and you get bit, you want to have a lot of backbone to be able to set the hook, get that fish in. 7 feet, 2 inches long, fast taper, Jig and Worm Rod, perfect for your structure fishing. A Cinco toad rod is perfect for pulling them monster bass out of shallow cover. Whether you're going to fish a toad, a frog, or a soft stick bait, this rod is ideal for those conditions. It's 7 feet, 2 inches long. You got plenty of length here, but with the S-curve technology, there's so much power in these blanks, you don't need a big stiff rod. And if you're going to fish a toad or a frog, you better be fishing braided line. 65-pound braided line, be able to throw a frog back up in that stuff, you have absolutely tons of power to pull a big fish out of heavy cover with this. At 7 feet, 2 inches long, this is a meat stick right here. Let's talk about probably my favorite rod in the entire Tessera series. It's the Swim Bait Carolina Rig Rod. It's the most versatile rod you'll probably ever fish. It's 7.5 feet long, a little bit longer than average. It's got a medium fast taper, good soft tip, 12 to 25 pound test. If I'm fishing swim baits in the 4 to 7 inch class, perfect for that. I've got plenty of backbone to cast a bait out there a long ways and be able to set a hook a long ways out. Really, it's about endless on what you can do with this rod. When you get a really tough bite and you need to downsize, fish 12, 15 pound test, 1/8 1/4 ounce baits, ideal for finesse flipping as well. Swim Bait Carolina Rig Rod. It's good. Ooh, that felt good. It's good. All right, if you love crankbait fishing like I do, then this S-Glass crankbait series is definitely the rod for you. Fiberglass, S-Glass, what does it mean? Shock absorbency. When fishing crankbaits, a lot of times fish will come up and swipe at a bait and get one hook on the outside of the cheek, something like that. And that fiberglass makes all the difference in the world of putting fish in the boat or not. 10 pound test to 20 pound test, 1/4 ounce to 1/2 ounce plugs, perfect, perfect, perfect. If you love crankbait fishing, this rod's money.